Hi everyone, Antoine Fantoine here, internet's busiest music nerd. And you know who it is. It's time for a vinyl update, where I let you guys know about some records that have recently made their way into this big old fat record collection over here. Added some nice records to the collection this month. As you guys know by now, we do these things raw. Down there in the description, you can find a link to check out more of my vinyl videos and see more records in this collection. We do this series so you can just check out some cool records and hopefully get some recommendations and maybe, find something you want for your collection. All right? Now this first one, it's not even a record. It's not even a record. It's not even a record. It's a tape. It is a cassette tape of the Mr. Yote album / mixtape that I put out, that I reviewed. I put out a review of not too long ago. We have like the little blue pirate man on the front in the Red Sea with a yellow sky, and it's just a, I don't know, it's actually a really plain cassette. We have this side A, that side B, like some skull and crossbones on the cassette, but the album art itself is actually pretty cool. It says ahoy over here with a little ship, and sorry you can't, it's kind of small because it is a little cassette J card, but just kicking things off with a tape, changing things up. Got to throw you guys a left hook every once in a while. All right, so let's just put this down softly. Don't want to break that. All right, these are records. We could just throw these around and bust them up and just totally fuck them up. We have a little record store day release over here from the band Brujeria. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maybe not. But this is a fun little metalcore single, a fun anti-Donald Trump metalcore single with lyrics in Espanol. And Viva Presidente Trump is the title of the track, although on the front it says "Fuck you, puto," with a machete sticking out of Donald Trump's big fat ass head. I wouldn't say I liked the track all that much, but it was a fun novelty. I mean, it's in some respects it sounded like a little bit of a generic metalcore, but it still was a fun track. We have the lyrics sort of posted inside of the card over here, and this is actually a piece of green vinyl, which is actually pretty fun. And the nuclear blast logo here at the bottom is sort of done in the colors of the Mexican flag, which it would have actually been pretty interesting if this was sort of red, green, and white as well. But still, nice green anti-Donald Trump 7-inch with a bit of a metal hardcore punk flavor to it. Not complaining, not complaining. All right, moving on. Should we get right into this? No, I have a couple other record store day records in here that I got a hold of late that I'm going to be covering in this video. This is one of my favorite albums of the year. We got a couple of my favorite albums of the year actually in this pile. But this one comes from Polyvinyl Records, I believe. And just double checking on that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it came from Polyvinyl Records. This is the new Xiu Xiu Covers the Music of Twin Peaks record over here. We've got like a red side, we've got a blue side, very minimal sort of liner notes over here. As you could tell, it's like mostly just a white blank slate. We have Xiu Xiu plays the music of Twin Peaks, the songs listed, special thanks to Jose Da Silva and Lawrence English, the production credits, the instrumental credits, and the vinyl itself is actually pretty cool because it matches the colors of the front cover. We have the red record over here, and it is a very solid sort of red color with some splatters in it over here. You can't quite see them, they're very, very faint, but we have like some little shots of white that pop up in the record here and there. Those aren't, sort of imperfections or anything like that. Just a very strangely subtle splatter pattern. And then we have a blue record over here. So we've got a red one, you got a blue one, and this one sort of seems to be just a solid blue with no splatters in it at all. So whatever, man, whatever. So whatever your preference is, buddy. So there we go. That is the Xiu Xiu plays the music of Twin Peaks double LP gatefold package. One of my favorite records of the year. Xiu Xiu did a fantastic job on this album. If you have not seen my review of this record, if you have not heard this record, please look that review up and give it a shot. All right, moving along, let's see what I want to talk about next in here. Okay, one more Record Store Day release. We have Death's Live in Eindhoven. If you are a death metal fan, or if you are a death fan, a bit of a death completist, you may want to check this thing out. Apparently this is a pretty awesome, or a pretty well-regarded live performance from Death during a festival, metal festival performance in the late 90s. I believe it was their first big sort of European tour, so that's kind of what makes this such a seminal moment for the band. Got a double LP set over here, and it's a very nice, heavy, I believe it's 180 gram, very thick, black vinyl pressing. I've been giving this thing a listen, and the recording is a little rough. You know, it is a live recording, and it is not the best of live recordings. So, you know, it does sound a little muddy, it does sound a little messy at points, but the performance is certainly good. You know, the band sounds tight, the band sounds brutal, so there's really no complaints there. I would say this is just, again, more for a completist sort of fan, which is, you know, nothing surprising for a Record Store Day release. You know, that's typically when they drop projects like this, that only the most hardcore of the hardcore, in terms of fans of a certain group, are going to want this release. So, you know, hopefully, I've been seeing some of the eBay prices on this thing. They're not too bad, so, you know, if you really, really want this thing, you're a huge Death fan, there are still copies out there in circulation. But yeah, it's pretty decent. Not really any complaints other than just the recording being a little subpar. But again, live recording, performance is still good. All right, I got to give a shout out to my dude Iglooghost, because I got this Peanut Choker 12-inch single from the label that he worked with to put this out. And they also sent me a little bit of, I've been listening to this sort of online, though I have not opened it yet, Error Broadcast. This was a little bit of some hard-nosed techno over here, kind of minimalist. Thought it was pretty decent. The artist name is CLNK, and the album is Black Ecstasy. You can check out the cover over there again. But yeah, this is some pretty good minimal abstract electronic music. But yeah, they contacted me. They said, "Hey, do you really like that Iglooghost single?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think it's great." And they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do vinyl for it." I was like, "Hell yeah! Beautiful red vinyl Iglooghost. What?" This guy's one of my favorite producers right now. This shit is nuts. He's completely over the top, totally psychedelic, very overwhelming, very sonically dense and intense, but also playful and fun. I like sort of the mustard yellow of the art on the other side, with the tracks listed over here. Peanut Choker, Chinchu, Gold Tea, and then we have some remixes of the tracks off the project. So yeah, just a very beautiful, bright red record over here with a simple, classy black sleeve. All right, moving along. Let's get into this record over here, because this record was sent from a very nice fan of the show. If you would like to send anything that may end up on the vinyl segment over here that we have going, here's my P.O. box. I got a P.O. box. So there you go. I got a P.O. box now. So, and this person sent this record, not to the P.O. box. I had an office address that I was using, but this P.O. box that I've got now is so people can send me stuff for the segment. People can send me memes for the meme review on the other channel. So if you want to send me a meme as well, oh God, I'm going to regret saying that. But he sent me this record with a nice letter, and it says, "Greetings, Anthony Fantano. How are you doing today? I hope you're enjoying your day today. Anyways, I wanted to give you a pretty cool record that I know you enjoyed in 2011, Wildlife by La Dispute. Spin this album, drink some lemonade, and relax. Anyways, take good care. This is a great record that I am passing along to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Gabriel." Gabriel, thanks, man. Appreciate that. And as he says, it is the La Dispute record, Wildlife, and it is a beautiful double LP package. Oh my God! Love gatefolds, love double LPs. And it is, I don't know if the camera is going to show this. Yeah, I guess it shows up. It is a beautifully dark, deep dark purple, this vinyl. I don't know if the other one's a little bit lighter. This one seems, this one looks a little bit lighter to my eye, and it is, I can see the light through it, so it is not, you know, completely opaque. So it is sort of a deep, clear purple vinyl. And I've been playing it too, sounds fantastic. No complaints about the sound of this record. And the gatefold itself, the art inside is relatively straightforward, not all too different than what you would see on the CD copy of this record. So yeah, I very much appreciate this, considering, again, it was like in my top 10 of albums from 2011. And this record still holds a special place in my heart, considering how emotional and just like emotionally crushed the album is. All right, we have a couple more over here. Let's get into a couple new ones before we get into some old ones. This is not new, but it's recent. We have the debut Run the Jewels record, which I remember one of my reservations about this record is that the production was not bassy or heavy enough for me. But on record, the bass is freaking bumping on this project. If you get a chance to hear this album on vinyl, you will definitely hear the difference in the bass. The bass is heavier on the record. And not only am I happy with the bass on this record, but I'm also happy with the big insert poster that came with this record. Looks cool, guys. Got all the liner notes in there with a big middle fucking finger. That looks nice, and the cherry on top is that the vinyl is orange. This is orange as hell. Orange, you glad I showed you this record? I know I am. Sorry about that, guys. And what side are we listening to? We're listening to side 1. What side are we listening to? We're listening to side 2. Very fun, creative packaging for this really, you know, good rap album, which, having heard the bigger bass, grown on me a little bit, guys. You know, might have to reassess whether or not I like this one or the second one more. No, the instrumentals on the second one are a little more epic. Gotta give it to them. Or is my favorite Run the Jewels project Meow the Jewels? You know, that's the real question. Come on, let's go back. Let's be a good puppet. Thank you. Just say please and be polite, and everything will go your way. All right. We're gonna go with one more new one before we get into some older records over here. We got a couple more. Got to give a shout out to Swans, the glowing man. Picked this one up, guys, because I think it's great. And the packaging is not really all that different than the packaging that they threw together for their last record, To Be Kind. The records are thick. The records are black. Oh, we have a download card in here, although I have a copy of it, so, you know, whatever. The records are thick, they're black. We have a little bit of a poster over here of the different sort of, it's like different body parts impaled, essentially, is what we're looking at here. The different impaled body parts that are featured on the record itself, which, I don't know, not as epic as Crying Babies, or Babies Making Funny Faces, but still, you know, pretty good. You know, we have sort of the plain cardboard sleeve with the logos on each panel of the gatefold over here, and it is a triple gatefold. Ooh baby, a triple with the liner notes in red in the middle here. And yeah, it's just a big epic triple gatefold package just like the last one. So and I'm actually very happy with the quality of the record, the sound of it, like I was with the last album. If you actually look at the dynamic range specs on Swans' last record, there's actually less compression on the vinyl version than there is on the digital version, and there is more breathing room in the mix that I like so much more than just listening to the digital version. I've been meaning to sort of digitize my vinyl record of that album so that I could just kind of listen to that, because the dynamic range is a little bit better. All right, moving along, a couple more records over here. We have classic hip-hop over here, EPMD's Strictly Business. There was actually one beat on here, and this came out like in 1988, I believe. Jacket made in Canada, 1988. Confirming that release date. There was actually a beat on here that sampled, I think, some George Clinton. It seemed like a precursor to the whole G-Funk thing, and you know, which would be way more popular in the 90s. And this is actually a really great record. You know, I mean, I've heard it before, and I know that Rage Against the Machine has covered the song I'm Housin', although I wouldn't say it's a very good cover. Just a piece of useless knowledge that I have in my head. But still, regardless, it's been a while since I've listened to this record, and I remember in high school and in college I was obsessed with like a lot of 80s hip-hop, and this is a record that I haven't heard tracks from like in a long time, so it was cool to see it in the record store just for like $10 or so, and just like, holy shit, let me get this thing since I know it's already good. And I mean, I wasn't freaking disappointed. I liked the very smooth, subdued flows on this album. You Gots to Chill is a great track. Strictly Business is a great track, and Because I'm Housin' is a great track too. So if you're looking to listen to some songs off of this thing, you know, it's 80s rap, but it's not as clunky as I know a lot of 80s rap can be, which I think is going to be a turnoff to some hip-hop listeners who aren't familiar with rap from this era. So, you know, don't expect something super smooth and pristine and all that, but this is not as, again, clunky. I remember one rap fan who I was having a conversation with once described some of those older records as sounding like they're made with pots and pans or something, and maybe that's like an apt description. You know, but it's these beautiful, rudimentary, old school albums that were the foundation of what we're listening to today. And, you know, there's still a lot of great stuff on these records, and especially considering how much nostalgia is selling in the music industry right now. I think there's opportunities for people to go and listen to shit like this and bring some of these older ideas back, you know, and sort of not just rip them off blatantly, but recontextualize them for a new sound in a new era. So EPMD, Strictly Business. A couple more here. We have the debut record from German krautrock and experimental rock outfit Faust. This is a reissue, obviously, but still, it's rare that you come across a copy of this album, and it is a kind of masturbatory, strange experience. I mean, I am, you know, somewhat of a fan of how strange Faust's records are. I like how much of an oddity they are or were in modern music. So, you know, I just wanted to pick this thing up because I'm a little bit of a completist with when it comes to sort of weird oddity records and oddity bands. You should definitely read into how exactly this band went about being signed and how much of like a disappointment this record was to their label. But, you know, it is an incredibly strange record, and it is weird that they kind of got away with putting this record out. We sort of have this, you know, clear print on the plastic sleeve, and the record itself is slightly opaque. I'm trying to sort of work it out of the sleeve right now. We have, like, you know, some lyrics sort of printed on a plastic sleeve over here, which you can't really see because they're in front of my face, but still. Some of it is in English, some of it is in German. It's sort of like a very morbid story of what seems like a pregnant woman being shot. So yeah, for anybody who's looking to be put in a good mood, you know, just read through that tale. And the album here itself is sort of like this milky, clear plastic. All right, let's move on to the final record over here in this update, the debut record from Talking Heads. If you're looking for a little dance, punk, post-punk, new wave music with some fun lyrics and herky-jerky grooves and kooky lead vocals, no reason not to listen to this thing. It's the first album from Talking Heads, y'all. Some of my favorite Talking Heads songs are on here. Not only Psycho Killer, but also Book I Read and Pulled Up. Pull me up, 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 up. If you get a chance to listen to the live album, the name of this band is Talking Heads, you can hear some pretty wild performances of these tracks. Fairly simple, straightforward packaging over here with the lyrics on one side, picture of the band on the other, black record, Sire Records, and it was in really good condition despite the fact that this seems not like it's not a recent reissue or anything like that. The record is very clearly an older album. I don't see any indication that this was a reissue in the past few decades, though it might not have necessarily been printed in 1977, or maybe it was. I'm not entirely sure, because I'm not obsessive like that. You know, I don't necessarily collect records to collect them. You know, I collect them to listen to them. Is that a bad thing? Is that a sin? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I buy music because I plan on listening to it. Apologies to anybody who buys music to not listen to it. You know, I appreciate your struggle. You know, I just don't identify with it personally, that's all. So there you go. Those are all of the records for this record vinyl update. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope y'all are doing well and found some interesting stuff to go check out after this video. Again, other vinyl videos are linked down there in the description. And have yourself a nice day. Transition. Blah, 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 blah. Click over here. Click down there. Click somewhere. Click on a thing. You should click. Click, click, click. Click, 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 click. Forever.